Power your essential circuits with the SMA Backup Select. Hi, welcome to this tech tip on the SMA Backup Select, where I'll show you the full workflow from unpacking the unit, planning the layout, wiring the whole installation, commissioning, and even testing backup operation. So stick around and let's learn together. My name is Johnny. I'm with the Solar Academy team here at SMA America. Please remember to always follow the SMA Backup Select installation manual, all NEC requirements, and any local codes and site safety procedures. Official documentation remains the final authority for specifications and safety guidelines. Backup Select keeps essential circuits running during grid outages with or without a battery. Backup Select delivers 120-volt single-phase backup power only. It does not support 240-volt loads and does not provide whole home backup. When paired with the Sunny Boy Smart Energy inverter, models from 3.8 through 7.7 kilowatts, Backup Select supports up to 3,840 watts of backup power. When paired with 9.6 or 11.5 kilowatt inverter models, backup power increases to 5,760 watts. In a typical SMA home energy solution, the Sunny Boy Smart Energy connects to the utility grid, the main service panel, the PV array, and an optional battery. Backup Select installs between the inverter and the main service panel and manages 7 selected backup circuits. When the grid is available, backed up circuits receive grid power through a back-fed breaker in the main panel. During a grid outage, Backup Select isolates selected circuits and allows the inverter to supply backup power during sunlight or continuously when paired with a battery. The enclosure is NEMA Type 3R rated for indoor or outdoor use. It's compact and durable, about 20 inches wide, 10 inches high, and 9 inches deep, weighing just over 13 pounds. System layout directly affects installation effort and performance. The ideal layout keeps the Sunny Boy Smart Energy, Backup Select, and the main service panel as close together as possible to reduce conduit runs and simplify wiring. If you must choose, it is usually more important to mount Backup Select close to the main service panel, since the backed up one-pole circuits originate there. Backup Select must be installed no more than 30 meters or 98 feet from the inverter. If placing the Backup Select below the inverter, ensure at least 8 inches between them to allow for adequate airflow for the inverter. In practice, place Backup Select as close as possible to the circuits being backed up, even if the inverter ends up slightly farther away. Out of the box, you'll find a wall mounting bracket, the Backup Select, a securing screw, and a documentation package with safety information, installation quick start, and wiring overview. Alright, so to open the Backup Select unit, all you'll need to do is just click on this right side, just like so. You'll hear a click, and then you'll just be able to open it. And then to close the unit, all you'll need to do is just push it back and push it in, and you'll hear the click. Remove the inner installation cover by loosening the 4 Torx 20 screws. Inside the unit, you will see 7 120-volt load breakers and a main 60-amp breaker. There are 5 15-amp breakers and 2 20-amp breakers. These breakers remain accessible even with the inner cover installed. Backup Select uses a Siemens EQ load center with QP breakers. A licensed electrician can substitute the pre-installed breakers with a compatible Siemens GFCI or AFCI breaker. Please follow Siemens installation instructions. These are the tools you need. Use a 5.5mm flat blade screwdriver for power terminals and a 2.5mm for SPS terminals. Have a knockout punch ready to enlarge knockouts on the inverter. Use a step drill only on the pre-marked 1-inch trade-size knockouts on any side of the Backup Select. Do not use a step drill on the inverter. Bring your own mounting hardware and match it to the wall type and load. Install and level the wall bracket with the right anchors. Hang the unit from above, then secure it with the locking Torx 20 screw. Before landing conductors, let's review the wiring diagram. These conductors are for control and power supply signal between the SBSE and Backup Select. These are the AC line conductors between the SBSE and Backup Select and Backup Select to the grid. This conductor is the equipment ground connection. This 2-pole breaker powers the 7 Backup Select circuits and serves as the inverter backfed breaker. For 3.8 through 7.7 kilowatt inverters, use a breaker no larger than 40 amps. For 9.6 and 11.5 kilowatt inverters, use a breaker no larger than 60 amps. Size all AC conductors for the selected breaker rating. Keep in mind, the main panel backfed breaker does not isolate the backed up load circuits from the inverter AC conductors. To isolate the backed up load circuits from all power sources, turn off the 60 amp breaker inside Backup Select. When working on the inverter AC terminals, turn off the backfed breaker in the main panel and shut down the inverter DC source using the inverter DC disconnect or the rapid shutdown initiator accessory if installed. Shut off all energy sources, then open the Backup Select lid and review the labels. Verify SPS in and SPS out labels before wiring from the inverter to Backup Select. On the inverter, remove the jumper from the SPS ground terminal to the ground bar. Connect a ground wire from the inverter ground bar to the ground terminal on Backup Select. Then run a ground wire from this port to your main service panel. Continue by installing grid L1 and L2 to these ports and then back to the main service panel. In Backup Select, we're going to continue installing inverter line 2, line 1, SPS out, SPS in, and the neutral wire. Next, install these SPS out cables to these terminals on the SBSE. Connect the neutral, line 2 and line 1 wires from Backup Select to the SBSE AC terminal block. Using a 2-pole plug from your Sunny Boy Smart Energy accessory bag, install SPS in to the SPS port on the inverter. And here's a final shot of the completed wiring on the Sunny Boy Smart Energy. Next, connect the backup load conductors to the appropriate breakers in Backup Select. At the main service panel, identify the circuit selected for backup. Remove the load conductors from their original breakers and pigtail the conductors to the breakers in Backup Select. Install the required system breaker in the main panel and land line 1 and line 2, neutral, and grounded conductors. Route conductors neatly and label all circuits clearly. Verify the contactor breaker is switched on. Perform a final visual inspection to confirm no pinched conductors or debris. Taking a photo of the completed wiring is recommended for documentation. Reinstall the inner installation cover and tighten all 4 Torx 20 screws. Label each circuit breaker so the homeowner knows which circuits are backed up. Reinstall the lid if removed. Close the door fully and confirm the seal is engaged. With wiring complete, proceed to commissioning. For new installations, use a smartphone and the SMA 360 app. During the process, navigate to the Backup Operations section, select Backup Select from the available options, then continue through commissioning. This is the only step needed to enable Backup Select operation. Let's test the operation. Simulate a grid outage by switching off the main disconnect breaker at the main service panel. After the configured delay, listen for the transfer click from Backup Select. In this example, a small heater is powered by Backup Select. Restore grid power and confirm the system returns to normal operation after the configured recovery time. Need to adjust Backup Select parameters? Review the tech note linked in the description. After testing, review the system operation with the homeowner. Explain which circuits are backed up, how the system responds during outage, and what happens when the grid power returns. We hope this tech tip was helpful. Thanks for watching.